Hi there, how's it going? Welcome to Looplearnings, and this is a new video in this series. We are making inventory management system. If you're interested to learn, then make sure that you do watch, and also make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate. We have created a query a couple of videos back, if you remember, and the query is all about getting the ATP available to promise stock for each product that we have in our inventory and the selling price as well. So we populated this onto the sales order. But how about populating this information on the main dashboard in this list box and building the search functionality to search for a record? So this is what I'm going to demonstrate in today's video. Um, Definitely you should be learning one or two things from this video. We have almost done for almost every table we have created that mechanism to fetch the data, fetch the information. Now we are about to wind up this form creation, and then we'll move to the reports, and we'll build a small report center, couple of reports, and then we'll wrap up this series. All right. One more thing I wanted to say and ask, that why the views have gone down. Is it because you have lost the interest, or you don't want to learn this, or what's wrong? Just let me know in the comments below, okay? Because I make these videos with effort, so then I see that people are not watching, so that means the audience is not taking interest. So the creator have to take decision based on that. So just let me know. Otherwise, I'll discontinue the series, and I can think about something else. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about how are we going to build that functionality to fetch the information and bring it on the list box. Well, it's quite easy. We'll go to the design view. I have already have a button. By the way, there was a button, manage transaction type. I've changed that to check stock availability because that button was just idle. So we'll click on click event. We'll do the code builder, and we'll say me dot list dot resource equals, and we'll say select. And what are we selecting? Well, we are selecting um, product ID, product, ATP, and selling price. Only that's the information is required. So we'll say product ID as ID, because product ID, it would be like a wider column. We have to keep it because of the title or heading of the column. So I would like to keep it short. So product ID as ID, product, then we will use product, comma, we'll have ATP, comma, we will have selling price. So selling price as price. So we'll keep it as price, not the selling price. Okay. From we'll see the query. Query name is inventory queue. From inventory queue. Now, eh, we have to make sure that we add whatever column. So based on your requirement, you ensure that you add your own columns. If you want to have everything populated on the dashboard, for sure, go ahead and do that. But if you want only a few columns, like I have done, you can customize based on the customer requirement or your requirement. All right, let's set some properties of this list box now. So first of all, we'll say column heads, and we'll say it's true. We'll then go and count the column. So column count. So the column count, how many? One, two, three, four. Four columns we have, and then we will define the width of each column. So column width. All right. So we will define the column widths in centimeters. So first one will define it as 1.5 centimeters, 4 centimeters for the product name. ATP we can have uh, 2 centimeters, and then the selling price also we can have 2 centimeters. Okay, we can always come back and change the width of the columns. But first, let's go ahead and check it out. What is the width? How does it looks like? and we go here and we are getting an error. Okay, so the column width property, all right, there's a I've done a mistake, but let's see how does it look like. It looks okay, but there's a small problem. Let me fix that. Okay, so list our column widths: 1.5 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 2.5 centimeter. What's the issue? I don't see. Here we go. 2 centimeters. Okay, 2 point centimeter. No, that's not the case. All right, that's why we were getting the error. Let's click again, and we are not getting any error. Now, let's increase the width of the product column. Let's make it to probably 6. How about that? Okay, I'll go here. Oh, not the layout. We go to form view, and all right, looks better. Okay, the next thing you notice, we have a button, create button, but essentially we are not going to confuse the user to populate a button which is unnecessary, because in this case inventory is not being created from here. All right, we all know that, and so we will hide this button. If we will hide this button here, then if I click here, we need to bring this button back to life. So let's build that mechanism as well. So let's go here. So in here we'll say me dot btn create dot visible equals false. All right, I'm going to copy that. Why? Because if, for example, let me show you. If I click here, that button is hidden now, but we want to bring it back. If I click to, let's say, purchase. Oh, where is the button? How do I create a purchase order, right? You got my point. So we have to write that one line of code behind each button, but here we'll say it's true. Visibility is true for that button if that button is clicked. Okay, so same we will do with the product. We'll paste here, product categories. We'll paste here, and then we'll move to the next supplier. We'll paste here, and then we'll move to purchase. So we will paste here. Where it is? Here we go. And then we'll move to product sale, and we'll paste this here. Okay, so we have seen that we have put the code behind each button to hide or make it visible, and that's the usability that you can build for the for the user. So, for example, here the button is visible. Let's say purchase button is visible. It actually works also at the same time, but when the user clicks on check stock availability, that goes hidden, because we do not want to make a confusion for the end user, and that's why it is important that we do that. Now, can we do the same for this? Yes, you can see that if I click here, because for the invoice document also, we cannot again, from the user perspective, think always from the user perspective. So that's why I've made it hidden. But if you click back on any of other buttons, these buttons come back. All right, so that's good. So we are done with half of what I wanted to demonstrate. The remaining is to build the search functionality. So searching, because there might be 100 or 1,000 records, right, in the products or the inventory catalog. So we want to make sure that we give the search functionality to the user, so the user can search for it. So we'll go back to design view. We'll copy this button and we'll create two buttons, one for search, okay, and the other one for show all. There we go. Copy it, paste it, and show all. Okay, so we copy that, we bring it here. There we go. So btn search and btn show all. Okay, now btn search, if I click here on the event, we have to build some code. First, let's figure out the show all, because that's quite easy. We have done the coding behind this button, right? Remember, to fetch the information, we can essentially call this, right? Call this event, and we don't have to write that same code again. That's the beauty. All right. So dot dot dot. We go here and we'll simply say call this event. All right. Whenever user click on show all, call this event. I've learned this trick. You can say that. Um, well, to me, it was a trick when I learned about it because rather than me typing that same code again, I can call an event which is kind of similar similar function that we need. So what it will do, it will basically call whatever function um, is applicable to this button. So let me demonstrate. Right, instead of this button, if I click on this button, we get the same result. And that's why it is important that you can utilize the code which is written, and you write your code in a way that it is reusable. Now let's go with the search button, because this is the one we are going to use to search the record which user may type. Now there are different ways, I mean different types of search. For example, one of the search is that you have to provide the full name of the product to search, which is not really user friendly, right? I want to just type in iPhone or IPHO, and I want to click on search, and I want to get all the records that have IPHO in the name of the products. That's what I'm looking for. So this is called keyword search. So let's go ahead and build that. We'll basically, believe me or not, we'll get the same code that we have written here, but we'll modify it a little bit. Okay. So we get the same code. All right. And we go click on search, and we click on dot dot dot, hit enter, and then we paste in here. The only thing we will do is if is null or not is null, it's unbound form, so that would not work. So me.txt Whoa, what's happening? Txt search equals double quote, then do cmd dot beep message box, please provide the search criteria, right? Okay. And comma, we be critical, and information else. Okay. um and if Alrighty. So here, what are we going to do is we're going to modify, as I said, we're going to modify the code. And the modification is where clause. We have to add where. And what are we searching for? We're searching for the product, right? So we'll give the uh, product criteria, and we'll use the like operator. We don't want to use equals operator. Remember, if you use equal operator, then you have to provide full name of the product. But here we are just using few keywords, and we want to search the product. So we'll use the like keyword, and then we will go ahead and we will actually put some asterisk, and we will wrap the txt search box, this box name, into the asterisk sign so we can search. So single quote, then asterisk, then double quote. Okay, okay, here we go. Or no, double quote, asterisk, single quote, and then ampersand. All right. Now this is honestly speaking, I always get this wrong. So let's see if I get this right at this time, because I always see. That's why I'm keep changing. It's something weird. Always, no matter how many time I've written this, I will always get this wrong for sure. But sometimes I do get it right. Okay, because these are lots of asterisks and double quotes and single quotes. So sometimes it makes me confused. I'm just telling straight away, and maybe with other developers as well. Okay, I'm not so expert, but I'm still in learning phase. But I always forget these things. Anyway, let me stop talking and let me start demonstrating. Okay, like, what are we searching for? Form, and we are going to give reference of this txt search box, which is located on the dashboard app. All right, forms, dashboard f, exclamation mark, uh, txt search, txt search. Okay. All right. That's about it. If our code is correct, it should work. But let's check it out. If I put the correct asterisks and double quotes, single quotes, strings, etc. Let's check it out. So we are getting the stock availability. All right, let me check. For example, security. So I will type SEC and I click search, and look at that. We get an error, right? Microsoft Access can't find the field txt search. All right, let's check it out. Here we go. Okay, forms dashboard F txt search. I think I have given correct name. Yes. Let me copy. Let me paste here. We have to give this semicolon or colon. All right, let's try it again. Okay, there we go. Now it is working. So we forgot to give at the end we forgot to give the column, so that's why it was giving an error. So now you can see that SEC, and you can see that two products with the SEC. Now let's say, for example, if I go back to show all, and you see, notice one thing. When I click on show all, this text box, it doesn't get clear. So this is also, we have to fix it. So all right, let me do that. I wanted to show it later, but let me show it now. Okay. So show all, and we will say me dot txt search equals double quote double quote. All right. So clear out the search box whenever we search for a record. So let's say I click here and I click here. You can see that the search is gone. Now let's say LAP, and I click on search, and here you go. Okay. Um, so that's very, very important that we build this functionality. Now you can do that. You can build the enter. So for example, you hit enter. So instead of you click on search button, let's say you want to just type and hit enter, then you should be able to search. So you can build that also for the user, because lots of users, even though it's a small thing, but users will definitely. You see, I've given an incorrect name, BTM. It should be BTN. Anyway, I'm not going to fix it. I'll fix it later on. I'll select the text box and we'll go to on loss focus dot dot dot, and we just simply call the BTN search. All right, like we did for a show all button. So in here, now let's go ahead and let me just search for a record that includes gaming. For example, I want to search. So now instead of clicking on search, I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard. So let's do that. And you can see that I hit enter, and all the records are displayed that have a GAM in it. Okay, so that's how you can build the search functionality, and you, it's all about user interface. It's all about user experience, how you want to build it, how it should be. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate in this short video. I hope that you have learned something in this video. If you like whatever you've seen, please make sure that you hit the like button. Tell me in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon as well so you get notification whenever I upload any video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.